I don't know. Anyway, this is the drawing from ALA last weekend. I didn't get to finish it then, so we'll see if we can finish it today. Well, I need to finish it today.
He's a nephew.
Oh, geez.
Right, but anyway, this is some of his stuff. He put one in the deal. These are little people he made up. He just started out a while ago.
Okay.
But I like, since he came here, showing all of his stuff off to people.
That's good. You should walk around. You should bring your work with you everywhere, just in case somebody wants to see it.
So he gives them the names, who they are, their height, weights, if they got jobs. Little creations.
Okay, full characters then.
Full characters.
So what are you thinking of doing? Like, you want to...
I'm thinking of doing animation.
Oh, animation. Have guys ever been to a CTN? Have you ever been to CTN?
First time he's ever been to anything like that.
It's specifically an artist and animator convention in Anaheim.
Really?
It's always later on in the year, but if you look it up, CTN, that's going to be the one you want to go to.
Okay.
Yeah, they have people who will look at your. Sometimes they'll have people who will look at your portfolio. I mean, like not just artists, but specifically like people who hire. Yeah. People who have worked in the industry go to that. So if you want to get like, because I've never worked in that particular industry, so if you want, that's where you're going to find like everyone all in one spot.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you find it?
Man, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Good luck, man. Oh, hey. I see you over there. How have you been?
There was like tap. He's right there. It is like, I know, I'm looking right there. I'll be right here. But yeah, right here.
Been busy. What about you? Working.
Quite a bit, yeah.
I see you're still uploading like every day, drawings every day.
Sometimes every day, usually like maybe a couple of times like during the weekend, because that's like when I have time to draw and stuff.
Okay.
Every day.
Yeah, that's something every day. Yeah. Right now, like I'm doing that sketchbook slam challenge. Yeah. Fucking pain, dude.
I see you post it and it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, on days when I don't have to do like, on days when I don't have to do like work. Like I think last week I did 2 or 3 days where it was like 15 hours or something like that, and it was just like you could barely put a dent in that book. It's just. Yeah, I think I can get it. I got 2 weeks left. I think I can get it. She doesn't think I can get it. But. It's 300 pages of paper, but it's 600 back and front, or 602 if you go hard mode because you have to do the covers.
But it has really thin ones. This one's like ridiculous.
Sells it.
I'm very picky about the paper. I like it when it's very, very thin. If it's too rough, I like to do finer, like so.
Yeah, I actually started doing on just this canvas because doing live was the first time, live at a convention last week was the first time I did it. And I got one of these canvases just because I'm like, well, this is the only thing that's big enough. But I didn't even realize like the texture you get is like so nice once you.
I like that. I like the brush look on it.
Can we use the pins?
Oh, go straight pen?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first time trying this particular pen out. But all my pens that I use are brush pens, so I mean, they're all kind of behave the same. It doesn't really matter. You didn't like it?
I don't know. I couldn't get used to it.
Brush pens, it took me a long time to get used to them. But I mean, once you do, I mean, they're like my favorite thing to use. when I started, it felt like I was never gonna get used to it. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, but like my favorite artist, Kim Jung-gi, he works in primarily brush pens when he does his sketches, and so I just started filling my sketchbook with brush pen work rather than using like a multi-liner, and you just put down the mileage, and I got used to it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of them at home. I haven't even taken out of the package yet. I don't know why I bought them.
That's a problem right there, man. Bust them out. Who cares? No, so
That's how he made his money.
like
getting fucking pens.
2 years ago, this was held in the Marriott. So the way they had it set up was they had the vendors room, but to get to the vendors room, you had to walk through the hallway, and then they put an artist in the hallway. So
Damn,
people made,
that's
everyone made hella bank.
That's smart.
But
Why
then
they
last
do
year,
that?
because it got too full, like shoulder to shoulder, so then they moved it here.
Yeah.
And last year, the artist alley, they separated the artist alley and the vendors too last year. But
Yeah.
it was like they used different facility last time. Like this is still in the fairgrounds, but they used like a different building.
Oh, okay. What do you think
and
could be the reason? Like,
I don't know. Last year it was like the reason I signed up again was because I was in the building for the artist alley and it was shit. So then I'm like, yeah. So I'm walking around, and then I go into the vendors room and it's like it's hella lit. There's like shoulder to shoulder, and I was like, this is where everyone is because the registration's there, right?
Yeah.
So they would walk in right into this room, and then they would have to go to the artist alley like how they're doing
Yeah,
now.
because the entrance is right here.
Yeah,
Which you
but-
have to pass by all our shit to get through. So.
Yeah. But for some reason, if it's this slow here, imagine what the artist alley is like right now.
But it could be the same as ALA. It was slow as fucking vendors, but
But the
Arts Alley-
difference is they have to walk through here to get there. At ALA, they would just go in. Here's the hallway. You go wherever you want.
Yeah.
This one, you literally have to pass us to go to the artist alley.
At the same time, though, we are in the heart of Bakersfield. There's like maybe like
But
four
it
niggas that
doesn't
live
it doesn't matter though because this show before brought in hella people.
like hella people.
It was hella enough for me to come sign up.
Yeah, and you the bar man, because if you set the bar high, if you ain't making money, then obviously something's wrong here. So
I don't make as much as people think I do.
niggas, shut the hell up. You got that Kotaku money. You got that advertising. Niggas know you in foreign countries. Don't even.
No,
Don't even.
but still, it's just this is the slowest I've ever seen this.
Really? What do you think? I personally think it could be. You know how like certain cons when they start exploding and getting well known and everything, they move venues and everything, but the venue doesn't
Thanks, guys.
match the popularity.
Yeah, this venue's too big for Bakersfield. This venue's too big for Bak-Anime. The Marriott's too small for it.
That's
So
what
it's just
it's
like
that weird in between kind of thing. 'Cause
if they
like,
stayed at the hotel, shit would have been fucking fire this whole
happened-
time.
that's what happened
People
with,
stayed at the hotel. It's one of those hotel ones. People just go to the
Oh.
hotel, they get drunk, they just
Yeah, that's a party con.
yeah, and then they had the rave there.
Change for a 10.
Ask Erica, she may have changed. But no, it's,
Yeah,
it's,
they had raves and shit there because it was it's a conference center.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had a venue for that. They don't have that here. They're not gonna do that here.
Hell no.
Yeah, so it's just like, what does that do? That changes the demographic, and it's just like.
it's a little bit louder, I guess. What is it, I thought it was Bak-Anime.
It's for Bakersfield, so Bak-Anime.
It's Bak-Anime.
They should just call it Bakersfield Anime. I don't know what the. Yeah, I'm using the Faber-Castell. This is my first time using this pen.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been using the Pentel Pocket brush this whole time, but this one's a little finer. So, and then this one I use actually a calligraphy pen. So I'm just trying a bunch of stuff out because I'm new to drawing on canvas. I normally draw on paper, so just testing it out.
Hey everybody, thank you for attending Bak-Anime. We got a little over 15 minutes left, so make those final purchases. And if you want to come back tomorrow, guys, all you have to do is spend $5 extra, turn in your Saturday badge, and come on in, because you're not going to watch the Super Bowl anyway. You don't need to do that.
That's $5.
So I've done this show. This is my 4th time doing this show.
Fuck
this
this.
is the slowest it has ever been out of all 4 of them. And Bak-Anime 2015 was like one of my very first shows. I think it was my 3rd show ever.
Really?
And I made more at that than I did today. Because I remember what my numbers after the first day were. That was like my 3rd convention ever, right? And I after the first day I counted, I was like at $400. And I was like, oh, I can turn this into a career as if I get better. Yeah.
Nope.
So,
Not
and
today,
then I haven't even made table yet.
You ever made table? Nah, we haven't made table. We even came close. I don't even think I made gas coming up here. It wasn't, the drive alone wasn't even worth it. Look, gas is getting more expensive nowadays. I can't afford this, man. I can't afford shows like this no more. I need to fucking buy a Tesla, but the Tesla itself is too damn expensive to get it. So
Don't pay it off after 5 years.
No, see, the solution is to just make a bunch of money at the convention. Seems to be the only solution to it.
Get a full permit.
Hey guys, one more thing. There is no swap meet tonight. Unfortunately, we only have 5 people signed up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna.
Put on the swap.
wrap it up.
So you see how like we're at this event center now, right?
Yeah.
And we can't. There's no swap meet. There's no nothing now because it's at the fairground, so they got to shut down, right?
Yeah.
When it was at the Marriott 2 years ago and all the years before, people they could run the shit all night. They let me stay at the table. They're like, you could just stay all night till they're done with the rave because they had a ballroom there so they can do the rave. You know, they had a swap meet. They had the rave. That's because it was all indoors and the hotel's open all the time, so they're not limited by like a facility like this. So they had a rave. They were like, you can stay here till we close. So we can stay. So I stayed there till like midnight on one of the days because that's probably how I made 400 that day. But yeah, if they said you could stay here till the end of the rave, what time's the end rave end? I don't know, like 1 a.m. Just stay there till fucking 1 a.m.
See, the problem with that, I don't know if we mentioned earlier, but the problem with that is when a con gets big enough, they expand. They think a bigger venue is going to help them, but in reality, the venue is too big. It's kind of intimidating a little bit, which has less people show the fuck up.
Yeah.
Whether
like
it's
LA,
this,
right?
just like LA, like Anime California was a perfect example. Anime California.
That was at a Marriott, right?
That was at a Marriott, or they're all the same hotel, honestly. It started off in a Marriott. It was good. It was hype. It was beautiful. You get drunk. You sold. You make money. Then when it started getting more popular, they were like, okay, we got to expand out to the Long Beach
Convention Center. That was the last time, right?
That was the last time because of the fact that Long Beach
up.
Convention Center is a good venue if you have the people. But it was so small to where they outgrew the hotel, but then the convention center itself is still too big to hold that kind of con.
So it's like, what do you do, right?
You just kind of just have to roll with it, and that's the only main problem. That's what fucks over vendors, that fucks over artists, that fucks over everybody, especially the con itself, which is why Anime California is no more, right? Shit like that comes into play. So this alone coming to the fairgrounds is cool, but at the same time, it can hurt them.
I get what they were doing. I get that they felt like they had no choice but to expand, but it's like, goddamn, maybe it's just because it's Bakersfield. There's nowhere else to fucking else
fucking boonies,
yeah.
shit, ain't nothing out here except meth heads and
then,
Popeyes. That's
so
it.
parking is out in a dirt lot. It's is it dirt or is there cement out there?
No, there's dirt. There ain't nothing but dirt, man.
It's a $5 parking.
$5.
$5. You paid.
It's five.
paid?
No. That's what attendees would have paid.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's $5. As vendors, we got parking passes to park here on cement, which I guess is an upgrade. That's cool.
Is it really after what we sold today? Is it really?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it would have been today plus $5.
Yeah, you're right. That's a Little Caesar's pizza. You're right.
6 years I've been doing this, and I've never,
You're
it's
telling
never
me
crossed my mind.
So you're telling me you've done this for 6 years?
No, I've done cons for 6 years.
Okay, you've done cons. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, you've done this place for 6 years.
No, this is my first one here.
Okay. Damn, you saying it did good for the last like 2 years or so, right?
This is my 4th time being here. And you can ask any of the vendors who were here last year. The even after they made the move here, which was last year was the first time they were here.
Right.
Even when they separated everyone, you can ask anyone who was in the vendors hall last year. It was fucking bumping.
Well, was it somehow during like Super Bowl weekend too, or was it just? This
I
was
don't
a
remember.
coincidence?
I don't remember.
That's the real question.
I don't remember. I see.
I did bring my vape, so at least I.
Well, that's part of. I think that is like.
That's all I want.
And we all
right now.
real talk. We all want to leave, but
Yeah.
part of the
Hell yeah.
professionalism is like
I know.
we just have to. Plus, Steve will blacklist you from any potential ones that they do in the future.
Like I said, man, the whole vendor thing, I'm over it. I'm done.
How was it overall?
I haven't made table.
Yeah, neither have I.
Close?
No.
None of us have.
Dude, keep up your work, man.
Thank
I
you.
see you on YouTube all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. There we go. That made the day worth it. No, it didn't. Fucking lying.
getting this.
Yeah. That's what I used to say about the stacks in my wallet, but not this show. So this is the Kern County Fairgrounds. You heard us talking last night that they used to have it at the Marriott. That building is where they're having, I know the sun's real bright, but that's the building where the exhibitors are. That's where registration is, so people have to walk through that. So they come out here, there's all the food vendors. In here is where the artist alley is. So you can tell while it's not like foot traffic wise, population wise, it may not be highest, but because it's so small, everything's all cramped up together. So Ohana Con, it's this guy. It's just one guy, right?
And his family.
And his family. They're running. You've seen the advertisements on Facebook. It's for like Turlock, Tulare, Fresno, Clovis, Madera, Merced, Hanford, Los Banos. Yeah. Yeah.
They're basically a swap meet.
Yeah, it is. So it's very inexpensive. The places they're renting out. Yeah, it's like $40 for artists. So it's like a super small investment for everyone. The difference is the only problem is the person who's running it just getting all this money all the time. So they're oversaturating the market and forcing people to spend a little bit everywhere. And the big shows are really sucking.
What program?
That's the pencil, right?
Yeah, it's the Apple Pencil.
The Apple Pencil.
And this is I just paint. IBIS paint.
That's pretty cool. Why did I buy a Cintiq?
I already have an iPad.
Yeah, so
It's so simplistic though compared to a Cintiq. Because like I can, I work in 4x6, so I can do a canvas size with 300 dpi.
Okay, yeah.
Like if I try to do because IBIS especially, it works with fairly small canvases. I really recommend more like Procreate because Procreate is at least going to let you do at least 8.5 by 11 for a 300 dpi with at least like 25 layers. But if you do this is like, oh, you can get 12 layers. It's like, oh, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's perfect for what you do, especially here. Yeah, just get them done.
It's so simplistic. And I just do the simplest shading for the few commissions that I've done so far on it. And then I just say, I email it to them, or if they want it printed, I have to make sure I have access to something. That's about it.
That's cool. So my overall assessment for this show is that it's really not worth it anymore. Back when it was in the Marriott, like I mentioned before, what that allowed people to do was interact, the community to interact together 24/7 throughout the 2-day event. They had a better venue. The venue was better because it was indoors, it was in the city, it was it's self-contained. It was just everything was in one spot, and we talk about that a lot. Where that's really important to keep everything centralized. That's why Anime LA last weekend was fucking garbage. It's because they just spread everyone out, and that's why I mentioned over there about Silicon Valley. They spread everyone out, and it hurt. So they have all these conventions trying to expand, and they think going bigger is better when it actually hurts community, and it hurts the vendors. And it just seems like pretty simple stuff that someone should be able to pick up on that concept. Just by working or going to these things. I don't know how do people run these things. Not really. I don't know. I'm not trying to say I know how to run a convention. I'm just saying I know. Fucking everyone knows what hurts a convention, but these shows continue to do it anyway. So anyway, I'm not going to do this show again. If you live in Bakersfield, if you live here in town, go get an artist alley spot, because if they keep the layout the same, which I don't know if they will, if they keep it the same, then you'll have a little bit of traffic over there if they do a panel or something. If you live here in town, go get 1 or 2 artist alley spots for all your shit. These tables here, up here, these ones, too expensive. I did notice that there is a bit of traffic. All right, so okay, here's the room. Okay, say registration's right here. People come in and you exit out here. So people are coming in through the registration here, and they're kind of branching outwards into the outside of the the outside lane of the exhibitor, the vendors area, the vendors hall, because there's the outside lanes, and then there's 1, 2, 3 lanes on the inside. Everyone's just going to the outside, and there is whatever traffic is here, which is not much, they're on the outside. So if you do get a vendor spot, try and get a corner spot and tell them you want it on the outside part. That's the only way you're going to get traffic here. Otherwise, yeah, so I'm not coming back to this one. Like I had mentioned prior, that this year is going to be me weeding out the cons that aren't cutting it, because after doing so many shows that I have, I need to start being more selective with what I'm doing. And the fact that I straight up didn't even make table yesterday. My table was $155. I didn't even make that shit yesterday. That's some fucking bullshit. That's like ridiculous. So, and I'm not the only one. You heard us yesterday. So, I'm not going to come back to this one. I'd be doing you a disservice to say you should do this one. But if you can keep your costs really, 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 really low and you don't live very far, Artist Alley is definitely worth a try if you have nothing else going on that weekend. Okay, cost low, you got nothing else going on, and you live really, really close. So, anyway, guys, I will see you. Oh, I'm off next week. So, Planet Comic-Con, which is in Kansas City, which should be a big show, is in 2 weeks. I'll see you then. So be sure to subscribe and catch me at that one. See ya.